All right, everybody. Welcome back to Shadow Valley. My name's Brennan.
You got Parker?
And you've got Gabe.
All right. How's everybody doing today?
Dude, I'm doing so freaking good right now.
Yeah.
Gabe's coming hot off a 1 hour work meeting that was like, I
Just
don't even know if he
useless to
needed
me.
to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm also coming off of a nice sickness.
Yeah.
So if you don't hear me talking so much or if I sound weird, that's why.
Do you think it's because you always say you're down with the sickness
Yeah, it's probably. Well, I wish I wasn't down with the sickness this time.
this one time?
Because it was horrible. I hate being sick, dude. I was thinking about it today. Like, I hate how, like, out of everything it puts you. You know, because
Yeah.
I was just at home, dude. I was laying on the couch
Yeah.
for like 3 days straight. It
What
was
were your
horrible.
symptoms?
Dude, I don't know. Well, so I know my symptoms. I don't know what I had. I think it was maybe strep or something.
Oh, so your throat hurt?
Like bad, bro.
Dude, my
Bad.
throat hurts, but for other reasons. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's okay. No,
This
it's
is
good.
low
It's good.
hanging fruit.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, dude, I had like horrible, like anytime I would try to eat, drink, or do anything like that, my throat would just die.
Yeah.
And then I had a cough, and that would also hurt my throat super bad. And then if you like sneeze at all, well, dude, it was
Brutal.
Dang.
painful. It was painful. So luckily though, I didn't really get too much of like a headache or anything like that. It was just
Yeah.
kind of like sore throat, but it may have just been a cold or something. But
What sucks about being sick too is like, I don't know if you took work off at all, but it's like I don't really take that much work off for anything.
yeah, same.
I mean, okay, I go on vacations once or twice a year, but like I literally go with my boss because he's my father-in-law. So, you know, but I don't take like work off for like anything else really.
Mm-hmm.
And so it sucks when you're sick and you have to like take work off because it's just, you're like, I'd literally just rather be at work and be healthy than just be laying on the couch wanting to die at home. Plus you have to use your like vacation time or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, and so I didn't use any of my vacation time.
PTO, prepare
Or
the
you
others.
have like,
Yeah.
Because I'm gone.
yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I just took the days off. Like they don't
Uh-huh.
care. But the crappy thing with that is that I get back to work and I feel like I'm completely out of the loop on everything.
Yeah.
Like 2 days I missed, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what the hell is going on anymore. Like, what am I supposed to be doing, working on this, or has this already been passed? Like, what's going on? So yeah, it was just kind of shitty.
Yeah,
But
it takes you like a full work day to get back in the like the loop.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you like really lose 3 days almost of
yeah,
time or whatever.
100%, dude. I had 86 emails when I got
Bro.
back to work.
What?
It was horrible.
Bro, that's nothing. When I worked
Excuse
as
you.
an international logistics agent, like
Say
in
that
the
3 times
morning-
fast.
in the morning, like I would wake up to at least 100 emails in my inbox.
Oh, that's
and then we had a
horrible.
group box that at least had 200 emails.
Oh,
and if I was gone for multiple days, I would come back to like 300. I was gone for a week. I had over 1,000 emails.
Put a bullet in me.
Holy crap!
For real.
I thought I had. I looked at my inbox. I was like, "You got to be shitting me," because it's all pretty pertinent stuff.
Yeah.
So I actually have to like read through them and see what's going on. But dude, 300 just for a couple days.
Yeah.
1,000 for a week. That's
Yeah.
insane.
That's
I would
awful.
shoot myself. That would
It's
be
crazy.
horrible.
Like 90% of that job was emailing. Like if I counted how many emails I sent in a day, it would be crazy.
That sucks, bro.
Well,
It
when
was
you
high.
guys like take days off, do you actually feel like you get a day off or do people bother you the whole time?
I get a day off because if they call me, I don't answer.
Big brain.
I should just do that. I hate like when I take time off, like a lot of times our employees are still working, but I'm just not there. And so it's like, yeah, I'm not working today, but it's like, oh, we ran out of rebar. Oh, we
Yeah.
like this and that. So then I've like got to call these suppliers and order all this stuff. And it's like, it's not that big of a deal. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm in Target in St. George.
You're
Can
like,
you
leave it
not
alone,
bother me? Like,
please.
For real.
yeah, but no one else.
Jonathan, figure it out yourself.
No, it's like, Juan, figure it out yourself.
Yeah, dude, I hate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been nice though. I feel like my coworkers now are much more like competent in what we do. Well, they're definitely more capable than I am. So I don't feel like I've had to run into any issues like that here at my old job where I used to work. Though I feel like if I took a day off, I was getting calls probably 9 times out of 10. Honestly,
That
like,
sucks.
it was so
I
annoying.
feel like the job you have now requires everyone else to have way more expertise than where you used to work. So the fact that everyone like is it just shows the difference between people that work at different places. Is
100%. It was so frustrating in my old job. Like I hated it, but now it's super nice because everybody seriously like they're all a lot more capable in things than I am. And so it's nice because I don't have to worry about like taking off work. It's just like they'll ask me like, "Hey, where's this file at?" I'm like, "Oh, it's here." And that's it. And then I'm left alone the rest of the time.
That's nice.
So
Super nice.
But anyway, enough about sickness and work.
You guys want to know what's a pretty funny joke?
I don't know if we want to know.
I don't know where this is going.
Having to pay $250 for a used textbook.
Oof, yeah, I hear that. Dude, I actually got I had to buy a calculus textbook
Yeah.
a little while back.
Yeah.
And apparently the guy, I wasn't there to buy it. Luckily my my wife and her sister went, or my brother-in-law went, and her brother, and they went and picked it up. And the guy that was like selling it, he was like, "Oh, this is like this calculus book has been through a lot. Like it's really like, trust me." So I start looking at it and I open it.
That kind of
like,
scares me. It's like, what have you done to this
I was
book?
like,
It
what
just
did you
went to
do? Did you-
Vietnam.
Yeah, like, dude, did you like freaking cry in it? Like, what did you do? Anyway, so I started looking in through the textbook and I saw so he had a bookmark that was a laminated dollar. Super weird. But then, dude, I don't know. This is kind of dumb, but this is immediately what I thought when I started looking through the textbook was, have you guys seen Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know Half-Blood Prince when Harry gets the book and it's got like all these
Like the notes.
notes
Yeah.
on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's super helpful. Dude, that calculus book is full of that.
Really?
Literally, I started like looking. I'm like looking through it, and I'm like, "What the hell?" Like, there's a bunch of like tips and tricks that the guy had written into the textbook.
Yeah.
It's like the most helpful textbook I've ever gotten.
You've got like the
Dang.
master copy.
Dude, seriously, it's so nice because like things that I didn't understand prior to,
Yeah.
I was reading through, and I'd go to the specific topic, and he had like little like point outs that said, "Oh, when it says this, ignore it. Think of this instead to make it make more sense." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh, like this is money."
Well, that's way better than what I was thinking. I was thinking he released some sort of bodily fluid into the
Oh, yeah,
book or
just-
something.
I was
like
thinking
that.
the
semen or
same.
something.
That was exactly what I was thinking.
Oh,
It's
it's
just
Been
like
through a lot.
The freaking pages are just stuck together.
Yeah.
Just semen
I really
overload.
liked the math professor.
Oh my
It's
god.
so disgusting.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
what I
stupid
was
chemistry
imagining.
textbook. Every one of my other classes that I'm taking, like my philosophy, sociology, and my biology class, they all have online textbooks that just came with the course.
So, did you already buy the textbook?
Yeah,
Oh, can you return it?
I don't know.
Because I have a
It's like the 5th edition of something.
yeah, I might be able to. I think I might have a textbook that you can have. If you can
Okay.
return yours, let me know. Anyway, I mean, this is for conversation for another time, but
Yeah, that's fair.
okay. So, what are we talking about today, Brennan?
Today we are talking about the Trolly Square Massacre. So this is a massacre that happened in Utah at the Trolly Square Mall, February 12th of 2007.
Do you
when
guys
when you say massacre? Sorry.
go ahead?
Oh, when you say massacre, is it like just a bunch of people died? Is it shooting, knifing? What is it?
It's a shooting.
A shooting. Okay.
Yeah. He was actually a foreigner. Last name Talvik. So what happened is he arrived at the Trolley Square Mall, parking his car in the upper level of the mall's west parking garage. He was wearing a white shirt, a tan trench coat, and was carrying a pistol grip 6-shot, 12-gauge pump action shotgun, a 38 caliber handgun, and a backpack full of extra ammunition.
Do you have a motive behind it, or are you going to go
No.
into that? No motive.
There's no motive. Like there's
Interesting.
theories, but nobody actually came to any motives.
And this mall, where is it located? You said Utah, but where?
Yeah. Salt Lake City.
So, like, is there a mall called Trolley Square?
Yeah.
Is it
There
still
is.
there?
Yeah.
Dude, I feel. Forgive my ignorance. I did not know this was in Utah. As you guys can probably hear, I did not do any research on this topic.
It's good. We need someone to ask the hard questions to
Yeah.
keep us
Yeah.
on track.
So what's 2 + 2?
Yeah, 6. Shut up. So
That reminds me of me like trying to explain what I learned in chemistry, and it's like super basic stuff, and I'm making it sound so complicated.
Gabe's like scientific notation.
Brandon was just overly explaining scientific notation. I was like, that's scientific notation. Parker's like, oh, that's not.
I remember like learning about that. I swear, like in like 10th grade, 9th
Yeah.
grade. I don't know.
Bro, I did not know what it was.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm sure you did know at one point, but it's like something so minuscule, especially in high school, that you just probably, if you never were to, like revisit it,
Yeah.
you'd probably just erase
Completely
it from your brain.
I forgot it was a thing until you started talking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Do you actually remember when this shooting happened?
Yeah.
Like, because so it happened in 2007, so
Right.
obviously we're all born.
Yeah.
But I can't even remember it being significant. Like, it's not even a blip in my childhood. I can't
Oh,
even
really?
remember. Yeah.
No, I can't remember.
KSL
either.
did like not too long ago, they did a news story on
Like the survivors
Yeah.
and stuff.
yeah, it was really interesting. But if you ever have
XL.
time, you can check that out.
What is that? What has it been? 9 years now
Since what?
since it's happened.
No, it was 2007, so it would be like
16 years,
16
like
years,
that,
wow.
just about.
Yeah. My half sister, not my half sister, my stepsister actually knows one of the victims.
Really?
Yeah.
that died or was wounded,
Oh,
or just was in it.
just was wounded.
Oh, wounded.
Yeah. I won't
He just
shout her
winged
out.
me.
Yeah. No need to say names
but-
or anything. That's crazy though.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No worries.
Continue.
So 2 minutes after exiting his vehicle, Tovlik encountered 52-year-old Jeffrey Walker and his 16-year-old son Alan in a parking garage. He shot and wounded both in the head with his shotgun. Alan Walker managed to run down a staircase to the lower parking level, where he was assisted by other citizens. However, Tovlik stood over Jeffrey Walker, who had fallen to the ground after being shot, and shot him repeatedly in the head and back, killing him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So that's the dad.
yeah, the dad just got absolutely like fucked up.
At least his son lived. Like if
Yeah.
you're a dad, you'd be like, just shoot me, but as long as my son's okay.
Yeah, let my son go.
Unless you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, there are those that use their son as a meat shield or
Yeah.
something.
So, did you already say how many people died?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
So continuing onward to the west entrance of the mall, Tovlik shot 34-year-old Sean Muniz twice with a shotgun from approximately 30 yards away. Muniz managed to flee the scene and survive his injuries. Tovlik then fired twice at the entrance doors, causing shoppers inside the store to hide, then walked down to the main level hallway in the opposite direction. There, he shot 29-year-old Vanessa Quinn in the chest with his revolver. When she fell to the ground, Tovlik stood over her and killed her with a second gunshot to the head.
So this guy, I mean, it's awful what he's doing, but
Yeah.
like, I'm also like, he's not being, okay. He's not being very, what's the word? Efficient. But most people, when they don't really have a motive, I'd say his motive, my personal opinion is his motive was probably like suicide by cop or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
so-
he actually, never mind. I'm not going to spoil.
oh, okay.
I
And
won't
there may be
spoil it.
details I don't remember about the ending, but like, you already shot her in the chest, and then he wasted another bullet to put one in her head. I'm like, I don't know. I'm sure she would have died anyways. I'm just thinking, you wasted a bullet. That's kind of stupid. So
Yeah.
I don't think his goal was really to get like massive amounts of casualties if he's wasting ammunition, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways,
I mean, it's interesting. I want to like definitely speculate on the motive afterwards, just because like nobody knows.
so interesting.
and
It's awful.
The weird thing,
I've
though, it sounds like it's premeditated.
Yeah.
It
For
sounds
sure.
like he definitely thought through, like, okay, I'm going to start off at the parking
or whatever.
garage, and then I'm
Yeah.
going to go into the other stores. Like, he knew what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
So obviously, it wasn't like hey, I'm pissed off for this reason.
Right.
I'm going to go and shoot up a mall. Like,
Yeah, he had like a decent amount of thought put into it.
Yeah.
If you're
Right.
gonna load your backpack full of ammo, like that takes some
Right.
preparation.
So
Versus
there must
like
have been some sort of motive behind it, right? Like,
Right.
I don't know. It just seems so odd to be sporadic.
It does, yeah. I personally think that
Excuse me.
somebody has an idea what the motive was.
Hmm.
Like, I bet you the police know what the motive was. They're just not saying.
you think this far after they still wouldn't release the motive?
I mean, they hid a lot of stuff about what they actually got on the Josh Powell case when he murdered his wife, or allegedly murdered his wife, Susan Powell.
Yeah. But
They also
I
had
feel
a
like
lot of stuff with anthrax too.
That's true.
yeah,
The FBI. Oh, you want to like actually check to see if we did everything by the book? Too bad we destroyed all the evidence.
Too bad you're dead.
Congress's report literally says there is not enough evidence to convict this guy. Yeah, that's how you know the FBI. Oh, and it was, I think we mentioned it, but it was like 300 and something million dollars that the whole thing was like spent on that
Yeah.
investigation.
Okay, and wasn't the bulk of it draining the lake?
That was a big part of it. And they spent on that mysterious box to
Yeah,
get it
with the-
tested. And it was
the
a turtle
turtles.
trap.
oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. They thought he had an underwater lab. And so they drained the entire lake, which if you are so sophisticated that you have an underwater lab with anthrax in it, by God, you are amazing.
yeah. He'd have to be like an evil villain, dude.
Yeah.
Whoever ordered that had been reading way too many comic books.
Oh, yes.
They're like, oh, it's the red-faced guy from Captain America. I
This
know it.
seems like something Megamind would do.
Yeah.
The FBI
Spy
literally
eater.
killed this man.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Technically.
FBI killed this man.
Hey, you can learn about it on our episode of Anthrax.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys do that episode already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like it was like our third. It was like a third episode, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
I'll go back and listen. That's before my time.
Before your time. It's okay.
But no, it's crazy. I wasn't as like prepared as I would have wanted to be, but
I love those episodes. They're still some of my favorite ones.
Back before me.
My
I get
favorite.
it. Back before.
Shut up.
my favorite episode still is the Becks.
The Becks. That was a good episode. That was a fun episode. Okay, sorry.
Anyway,
Continue on.
back to our subject, the piece of shit of the hour,
Piece of shit of the hour.
Tovlik. So he then entered Cabin Fever, a card store where 7 people were hiding. He first approached 44-year-old Carolyn Tuft, who was crouched down near a display table at the front of the store, and shot her in the left side and arm with a shotgun, causing her to fall over to the ground. He then spotted 53-year-old Stacy Hansen crouching near the southeast glass wall of the store. Hansen said to him, "Everyone just wants to go home," to which Tovlik told him to shut up, before shooting and injuring him in the lower abdomen and arm with the shotgun. Also shattering the glass wall, Hansen fell face down into the glass.
Man, I just don't know how you could. Someone looks at you like in the eye and they're like, "I just want to go home, man," and you like still don't have the human decency to you're like, "Shut up and just shoot him." It's like, freak, the anger that would take. Like, it would take a lot for me to shoot a person in general, but like when they're begging for me for their life, I think I would be
Just fold. I would fold.
yeah, I think it'd be like, you know what, you're right, I'm being a monster. Like
yeah, like get the hell out of here.
yeah.
That's crazy. I think
it's
it
really
takes-
sad.
Oh shit. I think it takes a lot of what's the word? It's like very sociopath, you know,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
like no care for anybody else or anybody else's feelings.
Unless you think that you're doing something good, which could be part of his
Right,
like
that's
he
true.
might be like, you know, depending on what he thinks he's doing, he could have just been crazy. And you know, there's so many of those like I can't think of the word, like extremists that are like, I'm cleansing the world and blah blah blah, and it's like big whoop, out of the whole world you kill like 6 people or whatever, like
Right.
not that I wanted more people to die, but congratulations, like
Yeah.
you didn't do a very good job if that was actually what you were trying to do.
Right.
But
It gets really interesting. So actually it gets really sad first, but then like his downfall gets interesting. So Tovlik then approached a group of 3 people, 15-year-old Kristen Hinckley, whose mother was the injured Carolyn Tuft from earlier, 24-year-old Brad France, and 29-year-old Teresa Ellis. All 3 victims were lying on the floor in the southern front of the store. Tovlik fired from his shotgun, hitting all 3 people. France died of a gunshot wound to the forehead, while Hinckley suffered a wound to the torso, and Ellis suffered wounds to the right arm, torso, and leg. He then left the store briefly to reload, during which Carolyn Tuft crawls towards her injured daughter. Tovlik returned, shooting Tuft, Hinckley, and Ellis again. Hinckley and Ellis both died of gunshot wounds to the head, while Tuft survived a wound to the back.
Wow.
Geez, so that sounds like the mom lived and she watched her daughter die right next to her.
Yes.
As well as her mom, right?
Her other son, or just a guy,
Just some random guy. In
'Cause
another group.
Brad France.
I thought you said that wasn't there 4 on the ground?
There's 3 people who got shot, and then 4 would be Carolyn, who crawled to her daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so,
That's terrible.
yeah, Carolyn was there and watched her daughter get executed by this guy when he came back and shot her in the head.
So
The fact that like
terrible.
the monstrosity or the monster in this guy to just like, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Brings like goes reloads, come like casually strolls back in and kills a couple more, and then like he leaves one more alive, which I don't know, maybe he thought she was dead, maybe she was being really still, but just like, oh my gosh.
So at this point, do we know a time frame? Has it been 5 minutes? Has it been 3? Has it been 15, 20?
The whole thing didn't last super long.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see, like, and I know, unfortunately, we don't have those calls anymore, but
started at 6:42 p.m. And let me see if I can find when it ended.
That's what I'm looking at too.
no pressure. I know it's kind of a random question, but I'm just curious to see, like, where are like what's the
Like
word?
what the time frame
where
was?
the police, where is like
Oh yeah.
security during all this, you know, like I don't know, it just seems so weird that he's able to already have killed 4 people and injured 3 others.
Yeah.
Well, and like people in the parking
entire
garage
shooting
called the
lasted
police.
6 minutes.
That's
Wow.
crazy. That's actually a really good response time when you think about it. Well,
That's
yeah.
true.
we'll get
No-
into it, but one of the guys was an off-duty police officer
That's
that just
what I thought
happened
was
to be
so
at the
cool.
mall. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it. Keep going. Sorry, I keep
Right.
interrupting.
So, leaving cabin fever a second time, Talvik encountered off-duty police officer Kenneth Hammond of the Ogden City Police Department. At the time, Hammond was at Trolly Square on an early Valentine's Day dinner with his pregnant wife, a 911 dispatcher, Sarita Hammond. When they heard gunshots, Sarita Hammond borrowed a waiter's cell phone to call 911. Drawing his weapon, Hammond identified himself as a police officer, and Talvik fired twice at him with his shotgun, missing.
Wow.
Moving around the central hallway area, Talvik focused his gunfire at 3 restaurant employees, firing from near the south entrance of the Pottery Barn Kids home furnishing store. Witnessing him returning to cabin fever and shooting Stacy Hansen in the back, an employee, Barrett Dodds, yelled at Talvik, prompting him to walk back towards the Pottery Barn. Hansen survived his injuries. Meanwhile, Sergeant Andrew Oblad of the Salt Lake City Police Department entered Trolley Square through the south entrance and encountered Kenneth Hammond.
Who was the off-duty police officer?
Kenneth Hammond.
Yeah, no, I'm saying for clarification.
Who was
He was the
okay,
so like
Yeah.
the Salt Lake City police guy enters the south entrance and then runs into the off-duty Ogden police guy or
Right.
whatever. And I'm guessing it says he fired at both officers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hammond fired back in return. An active shooter contact team composed of the Salt Lake City PD SWAT team members, Sergeant Joshua Schwarman, Detective Dustin Marshall, Detective Brett Olson, and Officer Gordon Wollstonecroft eventually arrived and confronted Talvik from behind. Sharman and Olsen shot him a total of 8 times in the back
What?
with their Heckler and Coach MP5 service weapons.
They have MP5 as a service weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the SWAT
Holy
do.
it's this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking it was just like police officers. Like, damn, that's crazy. I guess
gets-
now they have like service weapons that are what, AR-15s or M8s or whatever.
Dude, it's not
Yeah.
even done yet.
Yeah.
So after they shot him, Marshall also shot him 5 times with his AR-15 service rifle.
So he had like 13 rounds in him at this point.
Oh, when Tovlik turned
And
around,
5 rounds from an AR-15?
Yeah.
Holy shit. And
Tovlik,
he's not down yet?
no,
What?
Tovlik turned around and aimed his shotgun towards the team. Sharman and Olsen
Holy
fired again
shit.
and killed him. Tovlik's body was later found to have been struck a total of 15 times by bullets fired by police. At least 30 rounds were fired by Tovlik, 29 of which came from his shotgun, and at least 1 from his revolver. The entire shooting lasted 6 minutes. And then, according to a local TV station, several witnesses reported that most of the shooting took place on the ground floor near the Pottery Barn store. Through the majority of the dead and injured were found in cabin fever. One of the victims, having been shot, apparently entered the nearby Hard Rock Cafe and told customers to lock the door. The wounded victims were transported to local hospitals, with some of them in critical condition.
Jeez. So he had 15 rounds in him. Well, I got to say, 6 minutes from start to finish, it's still very impressive considering like 6 minutes in, they had SWAT people putting 15 rounds in his
The
back.
response time is insane.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
crazy. That's
But
crazy.
they also, they got people called 911 when he was still in the shooting garage.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he'd been like the first gunshot fired and people were already calling 911. But still,
There's
That's
an
a-
hour worth of 911 phone calls you can listen to about this shooting on YouTube.
yeah.
Which, man, that just gives me like anxiety. I feel like listening to something like that.
Well, what impressed me about all of the 911 calls is most of them were pretty calm. And they're like, you can hear gunshots in the background and
Yeah.
some of them. And they're like, oh my gosh, he's walking and I got to be quiet.
Yeah.
I'm locked in the office, blah, blah, blah. And like, I was impressed. Like, you always imagine yourself being calm because you're kind of biased. So, like, I feel like if I was in that situation, I'd be like, okay, what am I going to do? Not just like
and you'd love
panic.
to believe that you'd be calm, you
Right.
know, but at the end of the day, when shit hits the fan, nobody knows how you're
Exactly.
reacting.
Like short of like maybe someone who's had like military training and
Right,
like been
right.
around active shootings and stuff like that. Like, you know, those people would probably be calm for sure. But as like you always imagine yourself calm, but you don't really know what
Yeah.
you would
Right.
actually do till you're in the moment. But I just could not believe how calm the people were. They're like, hey, there's a guy with a gun. He's shooting people. Come as fast as you can. They're like, what's he wearing? And they were like, oh, you know, trench coat, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What's his skin color? And they're like, everyone thought he was Hispanic because he had darker skin.
Yeah.
Right.
But like stuff like that. And you're just like, it just really impressed me how much
Yeah.
everyone was able to take in and how much they were able to help the 911 people and everything. And so I think that helped a lot with the shooting is the fact that people were
sure.
so on
Oh,
top
yeah.
of it.
That definitely helped with the response time, and I think it prevented a lot more like injuries and casualty by this demon spawn.
Yeah. the demon of the hour.
Do you
The
think he was
worst.
like hopped up on drugs?
That's
to take
what I was
that
going to
many,
ask. That's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, like, it sounds like he was
like on cocaine,
like
or something.
cocaine,
Yeah.
like meth, heroin, whatever it was. Like,
Maybe.
that elevated his like his being, you know, just to be at a point where it was like, I'm not really feeling any pain right now, but
Uh-huh.
once my body gives out, it gives out. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's the only way I could imagine somebody
15
taking 15 rounds and then 5 from an AR-15.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't know if
Those
our
are the big,
listeners
scary guns that California always wants to ban.
big and scary. Like there's way bigger, but
Yeah.
you shoot an AR-15 round is way more
Probably
aggressive.
about
like
half an inch.
yeah,
in
but
length.
it's moving like it'll
the
take out
FPS is like crazy.
way higher than like a handgun, for instance. Or no, I don't even think it is actually.
What? On
Is
an
it fa-
AR-15?
yeah.
I thought it was really fast shooting. I thought it was pretty straight. That's why everyone uses them to shoot coyotes
Yeah.
because it's hard to get close to coyotes. That was my assumption. I don't
Right.
know that for a fact, but
I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't talk because I have minimal knowledge about like that kind of
Yeah.
into detail. But I mean, you shoot an AR-15, like you can blow up like a freaking orange, like or
Dang.
an
Yeah.
apple or something. Mind you, though, sometimes they go so fast that it just goes straight through.
Yeah.
I actually found more information on his name, Sulhaman. I totally said that wrong.
That's okay.
Tavlik was born October 6, 1988, and of course died February 12th, 2007. So he was
How did he die?
15.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait a minute.
Have you even been here the last 5 minutes?
Wait, what are we talking about?
Fair enough. He was born in Serska, a town in the Valencia municipality of Bosnia, and later immigrated with his family to the United States in 1998. Tavlik was a permanent resident who received a green card in 2005 and lived with his mother, father, and 3 sisters in Salt Lake City at the time of the shooting. As a child, and I think this kind of can go into some of the motive, Tavlik frequently spent time at the mall and it was described as the only place he went. The family at one point lived just 1 block away from the mall. He had a
Why
record.
was he so fixated on the mall?
I have no idea.
Huh.
But it's interesting. Maybe
Yeah, it's
just
very
like
weird.
significant from his childhood. But why would he want to like?
Why would you? At the end of the day, like, why would you want to diminish or like destroy something from your childhood?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
It
most
seems so
things that
wrong.
are like really important to you from your childhood are sentimental and not.
Yeah,
like,
it's almost sacred to you
yeah.
at that point. You know,
Here,
like you
no,
want to keep
you
it
go
safe.
shoot it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Unless it's something you completely hated, maybe. See, and that's the thing is like maybe his motive was like, I hate this place because I was like sexually assaulted or something
Yeah.
at the mall, like something crazy like that.
Well, he wasn't the star pupil in the world
Excuse me.
because he had a record of minor juvenile incidents and had dropped out of high school at the age of 16.
Okay, who hasn't done that though?
Yeah.
I mean, just
haven't.
kidding. I didn't do that either, but like, I mean, there's plenty of people that have like bad juvenile records that never do anything that extreme.
That's true. We got kicked out of Walmart for wearing a horse mask in it.
Did you
Did
really?
it go on your record though?
No, that's like the extent of what I've done.
Who was that with?
You.
Was I there?
Yeah. And your
Dang.
mom was there.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Yeah. And she was like, no.
Oh yeah.
She was like, those guys are so stupid. You're just
Yeah,
wearing
she
a
was
mask.
pumped.
Who cares?
She
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
pumped.
she was pissed at that Walmart. She's
Yeah.
freaking, yeah.
I forgot. I was like, I thought I just heard about the story. I forgot I was actually there. Another time you went in a Spider-Man costume too.
Yeah, I remember. And I was hanging out the back of one of our buddies' truck. Yeah, I was in the back with my Spider-Man costume. That was a good time.
Was it my truck?
No, it was it was your red
Chevy?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I was like, I know I was there for that. I remember that.
So, fun question. Where do you think Tavlik was buried?
I know, so I can't answer.
Don't answer.
Is it in Utah?
No.
It's not in Utah. Is it in the United States?
Guantanamo Bay. Just kidding.
Freaking Russia, Canada.
He was buried actually at his birthplace.
Really?
And do you know why his father had him buried there?
Why?
So he told media outlets that he was too sad and ashamed to stay living in a country where his son committed a mass murder.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
So okay, so it sounds like his family was not in it at all either.
Yeah.
It seems like they were pretty blindsided by it as well.
Yeah. And that's something that his aunt even briefly mentioned, saying that relatives had no idea why he attacked so many strangers. She said that he lived in Sarajevo as a child, and then that his family moved to Utah from Bosnia. I'm going to debate this, but one of the quotes that she said, he was such a good boy. I don't know what happened. He wasn't a good boy. He was not.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. I don't think it was a good boy.
But yeah, he was not a good boy.
I think I mean it's definitely a lot easier to have your view skewed, like I don't know, say if I were to like slap Parker in the face and then I cut off his leg, what's going to look a lot worse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure to her it was like, oh man, he used to be such a good boy. I mean, to everybody else, maybe he was like a juvenile and just did shitty things. But to her, like, you're witnessing somebody that went and shot up a mall and then compare them to, well, they were just a juvenile then.
Yeah.
It's like, it's such a stark difference, you know.
He
that-
was a good boy.
yeah, right? You know, like I could see like she could be like, oh,
Gross.
he was a good boy at the time,
Yeah.
you know, but
I
that's
wonder what
crazy.
brought them to Utah from Bosnia. Or, I mean, if it's just that they wanted to be in the U.S. or if there was something specifically in Utah for them.
That's a good question. They were actually Muslim.
Interesting. Yeah, especially
Um,
in Utah.
Yeah.
And in 2007, like when the LDS church is still pretty prevalent, like
Yeah.
throughout, you know, that's very interesting.
Well, so this is something that's interesting too. So we had the war on terrorism going on all this time too. So John Gibson and U.S. Representative Chris Cannon suggested that Tavlik repeatedly shouted Allahu Akbar prior to his death. And they were trying to use this as a religious motive, just citing video of the rampage, which supposedly captures Tavlik's religious shouting. Now, after being told that police investigators have not uncovered any evidence to support his claims, Cannon's spokesman said the congressman accepts that Tavlik did not yell anything of a religious nature.
That's kind of funny because so it says right here, Cannon suggested that he repeatedly shouted that. And then the person he sends to go and clean it up, it says, Cannon's spokesperson said the congressman. So there, he's like, I'm too embarrassed to say something stupid. Get
I'm
out
not
there.
going out there.
I did not say he said Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. Ooh.
Jonathan, you need to go out there and tell the press.
He's like,
I did not.
shut up,
say
boy,
that.
or I'll make
I
you get
did
me
not
another
have
coffee.
Sexual relations with that woman.
Dude, I was listening to your from the last, I think it was last episode when you did all the president like
Impressions.
Holy shit, they were so good.
They were good. They
Dude,
were good.
The
I'm glad.
freaking what's her face? Hillary Clinton one.
Yeah.
I was like astounded. I was like listening. I was like, holy shit. He sounds just like her.
Is that
This
Rodham?
insane.
Is that her? I love her middle name so much.
I love
Hillary,
that.
well, do you know Joe Biden's middle name?
Joe Byron.
No.
Joseph Robinette Biden.
Robinette.
Robinette. I died laughing when I heard
That's
his
horrible.
middle name was
Baskin
Robinette.
Robinette.
So I just want to add too. So besides the congressman having to like apologize, an FBI agent actually got involved and he stated that there was no evidence and no reason to suspect terrorism.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like, I'm sure during that time too, it was probably so like heavily like, pushed that the idea was it was all terrorism.
Well, and it didn't help. Like, so what's funny is nowadays I feel that you have the left media saying, oh, the right media only thinks that Muslim people are just all terrorists.
Right.
Like, that's how they paint the picture. When in reality, in this time period, you know, back when like the war in Iraq was still heavy war on terrorism, all
Yeah.
that, I would bet that the liberal side, because they were, you know, probably supporting the agenda,
Yeah.
I would guess that they probably said just as much or more of all Muslims are a terrorist idea than
mean-
like, you know, I mean, hey,
Let's-
I'm sure the
we got-
Republicans said plenty. But
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a hidden audio clip of Senator Kennedy, the guy. I don't know if you
Making
remember
the
him.
claims and stuff.
Yeah, saying that Muslims are like terrorists because that guy was the same guy who said like, if you hate the police just because they're police, next time you're in trouble, call a crackhead.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
that was that guy.
fool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then he said some gay shit too in like the Senate floor, and I was just like, God damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. But 2007. Then what happened in 2008? Any guesses?
Dude, that's the thing. That's actually what I was going to mention. Like, we're on the brink of a huge economic crisis. You know,
Not
like,
even that. Like going with the liberal thing. Who was elected president in 2008?
Obama. Yeah.
Who liked to order drone strikes all the time? Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Barack Hussein Obama II. God forbid I use his middle name though. Mrs. Roney got so pissed at me one day in class
Why?
because she says it was like evidence of
Yeah, she's didn't she say that it was like it made it sound like he was like Muslim or something like that.
yeah, like he's a
Something
terrorist.
stupid. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I call a man by his name, Miss Roney.
Basically, she got so mad at me, and I was like, "That's his name. I'm not doing anything."
Yeah.
Shut up and get your nasal surgery so your voice doesn't sound so stupid.
Oh my god! Oh shit!
I probably shouldn't have said that. I'd
God
cry if
damn.
she heard me say that because she's actually a pretty nice teacher.
Did you guys like remember when we gave like nicknames to the teachers?
No.
Oh, like faggot Finley.
Oh.
It's okay. I'm allowed to say that word because I'm one.
Oh my gosh.
You could call it like fudge packing. Like,
I can gain a little bit more weight, then I can make fun of Mr.
don't you know what a
Price.
fudge packer is?
No, I don't know what that.
That's
Oh,
another-
you know what? I can make sense of what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
A fucking
I
fairy.
figured it out.
yeah, I think I don't really need any more context in that.
Fair enough. But no. Yeah. So there's like names, and then Miss Roney was Roadkill Roney.
I don't remember that.
Didn't you come up with that one?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. We all just. I just remember somebody came up with Mr. That guy.
I don't
was
think
kinda
that was
whack.
us though. I think that was just like the
That was just the
school.
schools.
Just
Yeah.
a school.
And then that one math teacher. I'm not gonna name him because we've named enough teachers at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah. Maybe we should stop naming
But the
names.
but the one math teacher that was like older, everyone said he was like. There was a
my
famous
God.
story that he said he was. A student walked up to his desk and he was like had his hand in his pocket and was like moving his hand around.
I do remember that.
I know
And then
this
they're
guy-
like,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, what are you doing, Mister? You whatever your name
So and
is.
so.
And he was
Mr.
like,
Royalty.
yeah. and he's like, oh, I just playing with my keys. And apparently his keys were sitting on the desk. I don't know if that was actually a true story, if that was just one of those like urban
Yeah.
legends along with like Misty and all that shit. But
Oh my
That-
god.
That reminded me of The Office when like Andy's got his hand in his pocket and he's like, what are you doing? He's like, flicking a bug off my wiener.
he says that? I don't remember that.
That's so funny because I think he's like planning on proposing, so he has a ring in his pocket. And he was like
Oh.
adjusting it. So she asks like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Flicking a bug off my wiener."
Yeah, that's way
God,
more
so
natural
stupid.
than like anything. Like, oh, I got an itch. Like, that's funny.
Yeah, we kind of went off topic there for a second.
What were we talking about before?
So we were talking about the Republican views and what happened in 2008.
Yeah, Barack Obama like was elected president, and then he drone striked like a whole bunch of like people in the Afghan territories. Like,
And I think especially like very specifically with that, and I think the saying always holds is like, what's the most profitable business?
oil.
It's war.
The government runs on oil.
Right. Like everything, the more war that they can create, the more jobs they're making, the more
Yeah.
income for those jobs, the more like manufacturing is being created. It literally keeps the world running. Right.
Yeah.
And so
Whether
if
they
can-
need the stuff or not, they'll still make this stuff for war.
right.
Like,
And if they
yeah.
can continue and push this like agenda, people are going to be more inclined and more responsive to a war rather than not.
It
Yeah.
should create a thriving economy, but our economy was already pretty jacked up anyways.
Yeah, 2008 when
Yeah, that's
the
true.
housing market crashed.
Yeah. Which is, if anyone hasn't seen The Big Short, you should watch it. It's really interesting.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Really good. I had a question. So you
Yeah.
said you wanted to go over, I guess, motive, what you thought his motive was,
Yeah.
and kind of theories behind that. I have a question, or I guess a theory.
Okay.
But maybe it's already been like thought up.
Slap me with it.
So, and this may be extremely far fetched. I'm going to use something that Parker said earlier.
Okay.
I'm putting my hand on my tinfoil hat right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not put it on yet. It's just
I'm not putting it on yet. Yeah. I'm hovering over it right now. I'm grabbing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my theory is, what if there was an ulterior motive to this whole thing? Like, what if there's one individual, like target, but he killed more people to
like
hide
Jack
that
Reacher.
target?
So
Yeah.
interesting you mentioned that because his dad mentioned that He possibly believes there was another person who was kind of manipulating his son.
Yeah, because like what's going through my head right now is like, I don't know. Again, maybe I'm putting on my tinfoil hat now, but
Put it on, brother. It's getting cold.
what if they got those 5G waves coming? I gotta put my hat on.
Keep them from collecting all my DNA right on my skull bone.
It's okay. I've always been chilling with Cthulhu in this whole cult thing.
Always Cthulhu. So let's just say I'm gonna slap a scenario at you guys.
Okay.
This individual is a government employee,
Yeah.
secret agent
Yeah.
per se, and his task is to take out this one individual that has plans, maybe was a terrorist.
Yeah.
You know, what if he went in and they switched it all up on him? You know, like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm thinking
You're
of
like,
something crazy.
To me, it sounds like you're mixing like JFK and
JFK was killed by the Secret Service.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're mixing like JFK and like the story of like the Jack Reacher movie. Because in Jack Reacher, the main killer, he kills like, I can't remember, like say 4 people. There's really only one person who was his target, but he killed more people, so it looked random.
Right.
And then he also missed a couple of shots on purpose, so it looked like he.
yeah, exactly. Like, what if?
Why are all these white people terrorists? Like, for real. Like, you had the 50-year-old man and his son who was 16 in the parking garage. And then you had multiple women. You had Tuft, you had Ellis, you had Hinckley.
Yeah.
And there was other women too. Like, these were white people.
Well, and like too, also is like the ages of them. Like, because I don't remember
Like,
exactly
Mormon
how.
white people.
I don't remember
Hey, man.
exactly how old.
You never know.
Maybe I
You
was.
ever heard of a guy named what's his name?
Tommy Monson had
Ted-
ulterior motives.
Ted. What's his name?
Bundy?
Ted Bundy.
Okay.
He was white, killed a bunch of people.
Yeah. No, I'm just.
But again, there goes my tinfoil hat. It's off now.
It's off.
There's just an
So-
idea.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
So,
2 inches.
the CIA tried to kill Fidel Castro a ton of times, and they failed a ton of times.
Yeah.
They never killed him. I mean, as obviously stated by history.
Yeah.
And then we had the FBI bungle the anthrax attacks.
investigation.
And then we had multiple government agencies know about 9/11 and just were so far up their asses that they didn't like even talk about it. Do you think that our government's really competent enough to like pull something off like that?
Yeah, they did it with JFK.
It was an accident. The Secret Service accidentally shot him.
They were trying to kill his wife. Can you imagine?
No, they were just drunk the day before and slipped on the trigger.
Oh, we're
Are you
gonna
saying
do
that's
JFK.
what you feel like actually happened?
Yeah.
We're
There's
gonna
like
do
evidence
JFK,
for it.
and I have theories.
Well, I have a lot of theories. Well, especially the biggest thing, and I'm just gonna say the one thing, then I'll leave it. But the guy that they pinned it all on,
Lee
Lee
Harvey
Harvey
Oswald?
Oswald, he defected to Russia
Yeah.
and then came back
Yeah.
during like the Cold War. Wasn't this during the Cold War? He got killed, or was it?
I think JFK hated Cuba, so yeah.
Yeah. So, in the middle of the Cold War, how do you defect to Russia? You basically give up your citizenship of the United States,
Yeah.
move to Russia, who they're like in this major like paranoid conflict,
Yeah.
and then come back without having to go through like.
The Russians kind of kicked him out.
But did they though? Like,
Yeah.
like how the U.S. like just takes him back? I mean, that seems pretty freaking weird to
Yeah.
me.
Very odd.
Yeah.
Bro.
Anyways, that's all I'm gonna say.
Our government's incompetent. Like they'll do it. It wouldn't surprise me. But no, why do you think they're not going to let us see JFK's head? Why do you think they have to hide it? It's because if they
'Cause
found
they got
the round,
obliterated.
if they found the round that is lodged in his head, they would see that round belongs to the Secret Service. And think how embarrassing it would be to the world if we found out the Secret Service, the people who are supposed to protect the president, accidentally bungled their life and killed the president.
I don't really feel like I don't know. if the news came out, especially today, I think,
Yeah.
if the news came out that the bullet came from the Secret Service, I wouldn't say, oh, he accidentally shot him. I'd be like, oh, he was the guy on the inside that shot him. Like someone else paid him, or like his family was going to benefit from it somehow. I would not assume he accidentally shot him. I would be like, oh, okay, so he did it on purpose.
There had to be some ulterior motive.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm gonna like recommend this, and I don't know if I'm allowed to, but listen to the last podcast on the left episode on JFK.
Uh-huh.
They go into detail about this theory, and it makes sense. Like the night before and everything happening, and like the Secret Service being absolute goons, like total government chicanery.
Chicanery.
That's such a great word.
Okay, so I want to hear your theory on what his motive was.
Honestly, I think it's really simple. I think his motive was he was a teenager. He felt disenfranchised.
He was a teenager. He was born in '88.
Just kidding. He wasn't a teenager at the time. He was born in
would've been-
'88.
So
He's
he
the
would
same age as my mom.
So he would have been at
No.
that point. He would have been 21.
Okay, he's still a kid.
Yeah. So yeah, he's pretty or 20. He would have been 20.
Dang, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought my mom was born in '87.
Yeah.
Maybe she was born in '78. I don't know.
That would be. She would be like.
Because my mom had me when she was 22, so she would have been 22 in 2000.
Yeah. So that would have been
78.
Yeah, 78. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
You
Anyways,
think he was
just
a pissed
doxed your
off
mom,
kid?
bro.
so I think he was like, we know this guy had a lot of trouble with the law. Like he had a juvenile record, even though they tried to play it as minor. But he felt disenfranchised. He dropped out of school, so he's not very educated. I assume he probably wasn't in the best crowd of people. And he wasn't the smartest guy on the block. But I think it really just boils down to he wanted power because he was stripped of power like his whole life growing up, to where he wanted to take it back, and he wanted to cause a scene to where he was the one in charge. He had the power. He was the one with the gun. He chose who lived and who died. I mean, he shot somebody and then left and then came back just to make sure he got to kill him.
Right.
Like he made a conscious choice to do that. And then I also think going along with that, he did it because he wanted to cause terror. Like, how do you feel more powerful when you have somebody like cowering before you, just begging for
You're
their
playing
life,
with somebody's life. You
and
know?
even to scare like a community to just like being terrified because the local community was very scared after the shooting.
I wonder if his family received a lot of like harassment afterwards.
Probably.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of more on the same page with you, Brennan. I think he just was a kid. I mean, I know he's like, 21, but I'd still consider that pretty much a kid.
Yeah.
And I think he's probably kind of angry at the world.
Yeah.
Like you said, like he's had these run-ins with, police before, it sounds like, if he's got some sort of a juvenile record. So, and then I think, I don't know, it would be pretty hard to come to another country and make a life for yourself and not feel a little bit frustrated.
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, he lives in
2000. Well, didn't he come in 2004?
Well, he got his green card in 2005.
Yeah.
So for him to then, so he like comes to this country, he's trying to make a life for himself. He just was a little bit lost. Like, and then on top of that, I mean, I'm sure he got plenty of shit because he was, his family was Muslim. We know that. And then it's during this time period. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, screw all these freaking white people for assuming I'm this monster. Like, I guess I'll be that monster if they're going to assume I'm a monster anyways.
Maybe everyone was assuming he was Mexican and he just hated it.
Fair enough.
I can relate.
Something like I actually like what you said about him and his family being Muslim. what is the predominant religion here in Utah?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. That's what I was
Like-
getting at earlier. Is like it's surprising that they came to Utah, knowing
Yeah.
like I'm sure maybe they didn't know that like it is very LDS here.
Yeah.
Like something that is very different from. Well, no, I don't know.
Well,
it's super different
They're
from
the
Muslim.
Mormons.
The
Well, and
Mormons,
I
yeah.
feel like part of not
Excuse
maybe not as much now, but maybe then I feel like just so much part. Okay, white culture and Mormon culture is white culture basically,
Yeah, no, it is,
and so
100%.
like
Let's play Uno.
yeah, exactly.
Can you
Like
give me that Jello?
yeah, yeah.
Funeral potatoes.
So I don't know. I just like if you're saying, you know, it's heavily Mormon, it's heavily white, it's this time of just extreme misunderstanding
Yeah.
because of the
I wouldn't say
extremists and
misunderstanding. I'd say complete bigotry. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
the members of the church here in Utah are notorious. Like you go to other places where the church is, and they come to Utah and they say the culture's completely toxic. They're bigots.
Well, I'm not even saying the church. I'm
Sister
just saying in
Ann
the U.S.
got pregnant by Brother Johnson.
Brother Nelson, Sister Nelson, and Brother Johnson.
It's very weird though, because I remember when because I grew up LDS.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy that he saw me going over to the seminary building, and he was like, "You're a Mormon?" I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I thought that was just for white people." He said that to me because it's
Really?
so like, I mean, it's just overrun. You go to an LDS church now.
Yeah.
You go, dude. The odds of you seeing a person of color are like
Of any color.
of any
For
color,
real.
literally, are probably maybe
Red
5%.
and yellow, black.
like I'm
and
not
white.
kidding you. Like
Maybe white people are just the stupidest race.
Oh my god.
what the fuck? That's not what we're trying to get at.
No.
I think I want to clarify because we are kind of talking shit on, like different.
Well,
like,
really,
you
really,
know?
what I was saying,
Excuse me.
is just that the culture in the U.S. as a whole at this time,
Yeah.
is gonna be bigots towards, because like all we're shown on TV at the time of anyone who's Muslim is like these extremists that are. I mean, I don't really know much about the Muslim
Got
religion,
George Bush.
but like you don't actually know what these people believe. You're just shown these
From the
extremists.
media, yeah.
Yeah, and then also like, I mean, you don't even think about the fact like we annihilated them in their own country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's ever done that to the U.S. No one ever in the U.S. even understand what that is like.
Right.
Like so, you see the U.S.'s side of it, and it's like, oh, these monsters are spreading terrorism across the world. Well, how would you view the U.S. if you were
Right,
them?
right.
It's like, oh, we're doing our thing over here, trying to like.
Just survive.
I'm not saying they were doing good things. Like
Yeah.
they were
Right.
chopping off heads and doing all sorts of crazy shit. But my point is,
And they're
and
kind
then
of like the Westboro Baptist Church.
but then like, but
Their
then the
website,
U.S.
godhatesfags.com.
What? Serious?
Yeah, the Westboro Baptist Church. Their website is God Hates Fags.
Oh my
Holy
gosh.
shit. No, but I agree with you. Like, like if you think about it, and this is stupid comparison. I apologize for this, but
Yeah.
you think about it like Star Wars. Okay, like the Resistance sees themselves as like something great. They're trying
Yeah.
to fight the
Empire.
Empire, and then the Empire's like, oh no, we're the good guys. We're trying to cleanse. You know.
Yeah.
Like
And then
Hitler.
like the United States is like the empire, dude. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that. Mind you, I do love the United States.
Oh, I do
like,
too.
I
I
think
love
there's
the
a lot of
privileges
wonderful
here.
things
Yeah.
here, you know, like, but I think that times we need to take a step back and take a look and see like what kind of effects we are putting onto the world, you know.
Well, like so many other countries hate the U.S. because they're like, would you just mind your own business once in a while? You don't understand what's going on over here. Like in Africa, you know, there were kids starving. So what did the
Yeah.
U.S. do? They go and give them a whole bunch of freaking, what's the stuff like formula? so the kids don't starve, these
Yeah.
newborns. Well, the problem with that is we're used to having freaking clean drinking water. They don't have clean drinking water.
Right.
So guess what? All of these infants died because they're mixing shit water in with their freaking formula. And so it killed all the babies because we don't understand from a Western view and from a more modern view, these other countries like, so the fact that the U.S. oversteps so much sometimes puts a big target on our back.
Yeah.
Anyways, my point
But
being,
nobody dares go after the United States. Like, you
not
would have
on
to,
U.S. soil.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
Because not when you have freaking like 150 million gun owners.
yeah.
Like that's a pretty big freaking army,
Nope.
you know?
You'd be crazy to go after the United States on their own soil. But even their aircraft carriers are durable as fuck. Like they could wipe out a huge naval fleet. Like one of them is absolutely like devastating. They can hold a ton of planes on there too. And like the weapons that are on there, it's insane. I watched a YouTube video on this, so take it with a grain of salt.
So it's true.
Yeah, take it with a grain of salt. But just from like what they were talking about and the different stats of it, it was like, God damn.
But back to your point, Parker, like what you're saying, like, and even to right on what you're saying as well, like,
we spend more money on our military than almost anyone.
right. And so you're this young kid that you see the U.S. like going after your home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for instance, or
exactly.
your people. You're sitting there like, dude, I hate this place, or I hate the people here.
I
Yeah.
don't think
you
we
know.
went after Bosnia.
No, but like the Muslim
Muslim
people,
people.
for instance.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misspoke when I said his place. Like,
Yeah.
but going after the Muslim people and then the media projecting it out to be Muslim people are bad. You
Right.
know? Like, it
Yeah.
can get pretty frustrating. Sorry, guys. It can get pretty frustrating, as it probably got really frustrating for a lot of the Chinese people when
Yeah.
COVID was around. Like,
Yeah.
because it was all being pointed to them. And so a lot of people are probably seeing Chinese people as like, oh my gosh, you're the reason COVID.
Yeah.
And so it was probably so infuriating for a lot of those individuals to
Do
like
you
have to
remember
witness that
Donald
and deal with
Trump's
that.
like nickname for COVID because it like originated in China? Trump called it the Kung Flu.
I do remember that. He's such
my
an idiot.
He
God.
called it the Kung Flu.
Such a dumbass. Oh my gosh.
I forgot about that.
Oh shoot.
But no, I like totally can understand what you're saying. I do agree with that sentiment that it was probably just him. He was confused and frustrated with the situation that he was
Yeah.
put in.
Yeah, I think it comes. I mean, yeah,
Excuse me.
I can't.
Along with a bunch of other stuff. I'm
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on there, but I can't. I can understand if that was part of his motive. At least
Yeah.
I could totally understand. I don't think that makes the action right, and
Right.
like no different than he's then if that was his
Do you guys know what Allahu Akbar means?
he's
like
praise Allah.
Praise,
Yeah,
praise
God.
God.
Praise God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like people say that in church all the time, so I don't get why these politicians are like, he screamed Allahu Akbar in this thing. Like it's
Yeah.
so they demonized praise God just because it's
Again,
in a foreign language.
I think, and then a lot of it was probably due to media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my
but
God.
like so
Sorry.
if he was acting by those motives, he's no better than all of the U.S. troops on Iraq soil because he's upset that the U.S. troop shoots the innocent bystander because he doesn't know the difference whether he's an extremist who's trying to kill him or whether he's just a guy caught in the crossfire and he's not going to take the chance, so he kills him. Well, this guy is shooting a 53-year-old woman, a 16-year-old, a 24-year-old, all these people that are shopping at the mall.
Yeah.
They're definitely, I mean, he knew they were all innocent bystanders for sure. So that's kind of like it's his own bigotry, if that's really
Yeah.
what his motive was. But I
Right.
mean, obviously, we're just speculating, but I
Yeah.
just wanted to point that out.
no, I agree, and it's hard because there's so much to unpack here, and we're just a couple guys.
Yeah.
like
And we're just like totally jumping from one conclusion to the other.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Again, to echo
Gives
what
me
you
like
said,
Eric Harris vibes.
Eric Harris. To echo what you said, Brandon, I think what we're saying now, take it with a grain of salt. We're just trying to talk out something horrific that happened.
Yeah.
That maybe doesn't even have any sort of like anything to unpack there. Maybe that's just what it was. This
Maybe
guy
just-
was messed up in the head, and he decided to take it out on a bunch of people.
End of story.
Maybe
Story,
he
exactly.
went to Epstein's Island.
Oh man, we need to talk about that. Well,
Him
maybe
and
let's do it for
Stevie.
another episode because it's kind of getting
Stephen
we're getting a
Hawking.
little longer.
Oh my!
That feels good.
There's so many jokes about that.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to show you this one TikTok that had me dead.
Was it from Best Friends or whatever?
I don't know.
Is
Did
it
you
like
see him
the Asian guy
underwater?
and the white guy? Oh yeah, and then the underwater wheelchair scuba diving thing. Yeah, that's great.
That one had me dead.
Oh yeah.
And then
And it was like under the sea or
Yes.
something like
Under
that.
the sea.
it was absolutely hilarious. I was dying.
Excuse me.
There was that one, and then there was so many.
Yeah, we'll
Like,
have to. We should talk. We should. Maybe we'll do a quick segment, like a 15-minute.
Yeah.
I'd love to just go
sometime.
through every single name on the list and
Just
be
to
like, yeah.
shoot the shit for a little bit. I think that'd be fun. Maybe we can
Stephen
save it.
Hawking.
It's so wild.
There's like this Family Guy episode where it's like every time he's on TV, he has to like play the Stephen Hawking like look where he's all like crooked and
Like, what is it? What does he have? It's not park. Well, what was it? Anyway, besides the point. Continue.
Crooked nakedness.
but like once the cameras are off, like he just jumps out of his wheelchair and he acts like a
That's so
normal
apt.
person. They do this on Family Guy, so like I just imagine him going to like Epstein Island, just like pretending, and then he gets up and he's like, "Okay, Jeff, let's do this. What babes you got for me today?"
Oh, he was a good faker if he was faking it
He was
because he
faking
looked
it
pretty
good.
jacked up.
yeah.
Did you know he died?
Yeah.
I
died a
didn't.
while
I didn't
ago.
realize he died like in 2018.
Yeah,
I
he-
didn't know that till like
I think he
2 days
died.
ago.
I think he died a little bit after his birthday or something like that because he was trying to do that like future birthday
Yeah.
or whatever, where he sent out like a message to space saying like, "Come see my birthday party" or something like that. I
What a
don't know.
nerd.
What a nerd. Yeah, he only came up with the idea of like freaking black holes.
What was it? Was he a philosopher
nerd.
or a scientist?
He's a
He's like
scientist.
Couldn't even cure his own disease. What a pansy.
Didn't he like study black holes? Isn't that like
Yeah,
his
he
thing?
came up with the. I'm pretty sure he came up with the theory of a black hole.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Dang.
positive. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me fact check myself real quick.
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh my
dun,
gosh.
dun, dun.
But no, shoot. There's like a meme that I found too where it has like the periodic table and it spells out pedo. And it has his picture.
It's all connected.
It was pretty funny. But no, that guy was weird. Like, in all honesty, I don't think I could handle being around him.
No, I
Oh,
can't handle
sorry.
the monotone.
He
Just kinda
theorized that gravity produces singularities.
Oh, okay.
So he theorized that like black holes come from a singularity.
He's wrong.
He's wrong.
He's
Albert
wrong.
Einstein was the black hole.
Okay.
Or theorized the black hole, and then he just kind of built
So
off
he
that.
piggybacked off of someone else.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give him a pass since he could barely talk.
Could you?
This was. I think he did that when he could talk.
Even worse.
I don't know.
He
I
just
might
has,
be
like,
the
totally
robot.
botched that. Yeah.
I'm Stephen Hawking.
I'm shit talking like I know anything.
I don't know.
Freaking
I
dumb-
don't know shit either.
dumb guy.
Okay, like
Clearly,
I
as
would-
I've had to fact check myself.
I would literally kill myself if I had to clean that guy's shit.
Like
Like
probably had
somebody
some
had to.
colostomy bag or
You
something.
think so?
Yeah, I'm sure.
But you
I'm
gotta
sure
empty
there,
the bag.
I'm sure there were methods where he could live his life as proficient as he
Jan
possibly
S.
could. you
Please change my bag. It is full. Thanks.
Bring in the
know.
10-year-olds.
Thanks.
I wish his voice at least sounded like Siri or like something like
Cortana,
that.
dude.
Yeah, dude. Something cool. Instead, it's like freaking stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
just sounded like Master Chief. That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
That would be way cool.
We've come very, very, very
Yeah.
far off topic.
That's fair.
I'm glad you stopped me there because I was about to jump on something else.
No, I was just gonna say I appreciate your research, boys, because like I said, I've been sick.
Yeah.
So I told these guys before the episode, I was like, guys, I haven't done much research. I'm probably going to be pretty quiet, but I feel like I've been talking a lot. So I don't know if you can tell, but my voice is pretty strained. Like I'm like dragging right now.
Nice.
Excuse me. But yeah, that's crazy. I feel kind of like irresponsible, if you will.
Yeah.
For not knowing more about, I guess, Utah's history and more important things like that. But
I mean, it's not really like talked about.
no, I didn't.
I forgot it was even a thing till Brennan thought of it to research
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it was. Well, I looked up like a list of serial killers of Utah. That's where I found about Arthur Gary Bishop.
Yeah, freaking bastard.
It was the pornography.
Loser, that guy.
Freaking loser. But yeah, he was on there, and I don't know why they included him because he wasn't necessarily a serial killer. He was a mass shooter. I think there's a difference.
Mass murder, yeah. So probably, yeah.
I don't
A killer nonetheless, though.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, it's just unfortunate that it happened. I mean, you know, honestly, like at the end of the day, like my sentiment and kind of like how I feel with the guy is
he's a piece of shit.
yeah,
I knew you were gonna say it.
he's almost as bad as Dick Cheney.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Did you see his daughter came out with a book?
Yes,
Yeah.
Liz
My
Cheney.
dad shot somebody's dog.
Dog.
Yeah,
That's what
My
we call an
dad-
autobiography, or what is that? What is that
a
other one?
biography.
Yeah, just
Well,
biography.
Oh yeah, just a biography.
Yeah.
A biography.
My
In the-
dad likes to kill puppies.
In the-
My dad shot an attorney.
the like description of the book, it just says hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your dog.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I would die if Dick Cheney was on Epstein's island.
Yeah, and that's just
The penguin
speculative. The
just
other
like,
thing too,
Are you stroking my Cheney dick?
Oh my god.
you know, I could shoot you.
Now he's from Wyoming. He had his daughter.
Oh my goodness.
Just kidding. That's
I think
Alabama
that's
shit.
But yeah, I think also to go, I just want to state this real quick too.
Yeah.
Is we try to handle this with a little bit more softness, I guess, not so much seriousness.
Yeah.
But our hearts do go out to the victims and the families, and we hope we didn't cause any sort of like disrespect in anything we may have said. But
Right.
we do,
For sure.
I think it's important to talk about this stuff, you know, like I feel like we talk whenever we do anything sort of serious
Yeah.
like this. I feel like I always need to say that, but
Yeah.
it is important to talk about it because again, I feel like almost ignorant to the facts of what has happened in Utah. And I think it's important to know. So
Oh yeah.
I appreciate you for bringing it up.
Hey, no worries.
Get me learned.
Yee.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have
and
taught me a
learned.
lot of stuff. I remember like, hey guys, I didn't study anything for this. Entertain me.
And
I've done that.
Yeah. I feel I've done that too.
We've all taken our turns. As long as we don't all take our turn at the same time, we'll be fine.
yeah. You probably hear it in the episode.
Yeah.
It's not like that's happened before.
No. Wait, so you didn't do any research? You didn't? Oh, okay. So we should probably delay this for an hour and just do some research.
Oh my god.
Those are always our multiple part episodes.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, guys, I think just to wrap it up, give us a follow on the Instagram, the socials. We have a Twitter or X, whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
X marks the spot.
X. We've got an Instagram. We've got a Facebook. Shadow Valley Pod on all of them. Go give
Also
us a
share
follow.
us.
Share us, please.
Yeah, share
Write us a
your favorite
review.
episodes. We were looking, and you know, a lot of stuff is getting pretty popular recently. Pick your favorite. You know what?
Yeah.
We have a website too,
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right. We got a
shadowvalleypod.com.
website now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a pretty sexy website, if I do say.
No,
does
it's
look
great.
really
You guys
good.
can go learn a little bit more about us and
Yeah.
and see what other episodes we might have, because we're getting to the point, I think, where it might be a little bit annoying to have to like scroll through the episodes on
Yeah.
whatever you listen on. So if there's something in particular that kind of like you like or anything like that, you can go to our website and look at it.
Directly.
Oh yeah. We also have our merch on our website.
That's right.
10 out of 10 swag. I wore it to work, and people were asking me about it. They're like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's my podcast." They're like, "Should we listen?" And I was like, "Maybe."
Maybe. maybe not.
It
That's what I
depends.
tell my in-laws too.
Does HR want to listen to my jokes?
Never mind.
They're so funny. They want to hear it. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, we got a couple of good episodes coming up for you guys. We're prepping ourselves for a 4-part or 5-part. Is it
Oh,
a 4-part?
We'll have to see what it ends up
This
being.
one's gonna be
Yeah.
a deep dive.
It's gonna be a doozy.
It's gonna kill me.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think it's gonna be rough for all of us. We're gonna head into some World War II territory. So
See, Kyle.
Oh my gosh.
look forward to that. And
If there's anything about World War II that you listeners think is particularly interesting,
oh yeah,
like let us know and we'll try and focus on it so that we can bring some, as much value as we can.
Give
Yeah,
you quality ass content that you like.
that's what we're here for.
Exactly. And you know where you could also send us stuff? You could send it to shadow.valleypod at
Hell yeah.
thedogenetwork.com, guys.
yeah.
Shadow.valleypod at thedogenetwork.com.
Straight
Podge.
We are one of
Podge
the
that
top podcasts of the Doge Network.
It's true.
We are actually the number one
best.
podcast
Yeah, we're the best.
of the Doge
Say
Network.
it, dude. Do it.
We're huge. We are number one.
Yeah, that's
All
money.
the other podcasts are gay. So gay. I heard their intros. It's like quiet, like the gays.
I know them all. I know they're gay.
We met at a club. That was gay.
Gay.
I was only
I'm
there.
not gay though. I'm totally straight. My balls have dropped.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I have a beautiful wife, Melania.
Melania.
She's
Have
gonna
you
be
seen
13
those
next
Hooters?
year.
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit.
I was not on Epstein's island on purpose.
on purpose.
I didn't
Oh
know
my
where I was going. I just said get on this plane, and I was like, okay, sounds good.
Oh my gosh. It was just for fun. He said it was just a prank.
Just a prank.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, as always, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
I'm Brennan.
I'm Parker.
And you've got Gabe.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.